Do you remember the last time you held a simple quarter in your hand, and felt absolutely nothing? What if I told you that right now, sitting quietly in your drawer or jingling inside your car's cup holder, there could be a single Washington quarter worth over $220,000, just waiting for you to notice it? Imagine how fast your life could change if you discovered that exact coin today. No more sleepless nights over bills. No more sacrificing your dreams for a paycheck. Just pure, life-changing freedom, from one tiny piece of metal. There's one particular quarter that has collectors across America losing sleep and scanning every pile of spare change. It's the 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter with the D mint mark. Yes, the bicentennial quarter you thought was just a cheap memento from history class. But what if I told you that among the millions made, there's a small batch so rare, so unique, that they've become the holy grail of American pocket change? This is not just about coins, this is about rewriting your story. You see, in 1976, the US celebrated its 200th anniversary. To mark this monumental moment, the Mint released special quarters with a revolutionary design, the iconic drummer boy on the reverse and dual dates, 1776 to 1976. But here's where it gets electrifying: not all these quarters were made equal. Among the Denver minted coins, there's a small group with ultra-sharp strikes, dramatic die errors, and even mysterious double die obverse that went unnoticed for decades. These rare pieces have been auctioned for as high as $220,000, shocking the entire numismatic world. Imagine holding that exact quarter. What would you do first? Pay off your house? Buy your dream car? Finally tell your boss you're done forever? Think about that for a moment, because it's more real than you think. Some people walked into local coin shops with jars of loose change and left as overnight millionaires. Others sold these quarters online to private collectors, cashing in on a retirement fund in a single day. All because they took the time to look closer at what everyone else ignored. But here's the terrifying truth: if you don't know what to look for, you could spend or sell your rare quarter for just 25 cents, and never even realize the future you threw away. Are you ready to make sure that never happens to you? Let's break it down. The Washington quarter with the D mint mark, minted in Denver, is usually common. But the key is in the details. Look carefully at the drummer boy's drum lines. On these rare quarters, they are deeply defined, almost like they were engraved with a surgeon's precision. Then, check for doubling on the letters of Liberty and the date. This slight doubling error is what transforms a regular bicentennial quarter into a priceless masterpiece. Collectors pay top dollar for pristine, high-grade examples, especially those graded MS 68 and above by professional grading companies. Some of these have fetched prices that could erase decades of financial stress in an instant. Think about it: what would an extra $220,000 mean for you right now? Could you finally travel the world? Could you surprise your family with a new home? Or maybe, just maybe, you could finally breathe without that invisible weight crushing your chest. While most people blindly toss these quarters into vending machines or forget them in couch cushions, the smart ones, the patient hunters, are quietly building small fortunes. You have the chance to join them, to step away from the endless grind and build a life on your terms. But to do that, you must act now. Every day, these rare coins disappear into the abyss of circulation. Every day, another unsuspecting person lets a fortune slip through their fingers without ever knowing that. So here's what you need to do tonight. Take out your old jars, your change drawers, your dusty coin albums. Grab a magnifier and a good light. Hold that 1776 to 1976 quarter close. Examine the drummer's drum. Study the letters. Feel the weight of possibility in your palm. Because in that moment, you're not just looking at metal. You're holding the key to freedom, the chance to live the life you promised yourself long ago but never had the means to chase. And when you find it, when you confirm those razor-sharp details and that mysterious doubling, you'll feel your heart pound like you're standing on the edge of a cliff, staring into a future so bright it almost blinds you. That's the power of knowledge. That's the power of turning a simple quarter into a ticket to your dreams. This isn't just another collectible. This is your golden doorway out of the ordinary. Don't leave it to chance. Don't assume someone else will find it first. Be the one who surprises the world. Be the one who changes everything, starting with a single, overlooked quarter. The story of your life is waiting to be rewritten. Will you let it slip away, or will you seize it tonight? Start searching. Because that $220,000 moment might be right in your pocket, and the future you've been waiting for has never been closer. You walk past a dusty jar of old quarters every day, never suspecting that one single coin in there could erase your debts forever. But what if I told you that a simple 1981 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark could be your golden ticket to a life most people only dream of? A life without sleepless nights worrying about bills, where you finally breathe freely and travel wherever your heart desires. Right now, someone out there might be holding a coin worth over $214,000, and they don't even know it. Imagine waking up tomorrow with an extra 200 grand in your account, just because you took a second look at a quarter you almost gave to a vending machine. It sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly what happened to a retired truck driver in Ohio, who found a rare 1981 P quarter tucked inside an old coffee can. Within weeks, he sold it at auction and walked away with a life-changing fortune. And here's the craziest part. This coin is hiding in plain sight all across America. So what makes this humble 1981 P Washington quarter so special? Let's peel back the layers of history. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters, most of them so common they're worth only 25 cents today. But among these, a tiny handful left the mint with a shocking mistake, an ultra-rare overstruck error or a double die that slipped past quality control. These mistakes are so subtle that most collectors toss them aside without a second glance, unaware they're rejecting a small fortune. Picture this: you're holding a quarter. You flip it under a bright light and suddenly spot doubling on George Washington's face, the letters in Liberty looking slightly ghosted, or a strange ripple effect near the mint mark. That small detail alone can transform an ordinary coin into a prize worth up to $214,000 at a private collector auction. Just thinking about it sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? But let me ask you this: how many coins have you spent or dropped into tip jars without ever checking? What if one of those was your key to finally paying off that mortgage, sending your kids to college without loans, or even retiring early to that beach house you've pictured in your mind 1,000 times? This isn't just a coin, it's a second chance at life. Now you might be wondering, how can you spot one of these rare 1981 P quarters hiding among all the ordinary ones? You start by inspecting the obverse side under magnification, focusing on the date and mint mark. Subtle doubling or distortions are your first clue. Then, examine the rim carefully. Many valuable error coins show off-center strikes or broad-struck features that collectors obsess over. A small imperfection here can make the difference between pocket change and a six-figure payout, and don't forget to flip it over. The reverse can hide extra surprises. Look closely at the eagle's feathers and the words, United States of America. Any ghosting, extra lines, or shadows can signal a rare variety. Most people ignore these details because they assume only silver quarters or older dates have value. But the truth is, modern error coins can eclipse even the oldest, most obvious rarities in price. That it's easy to imagine how many people have overlooked this exact opportunity. They might be scraping by on Social Security, working extra shifts, or cutting back on groceries, never realizing they held a tiny fortune in their hands. Can you feel that? The tension, the possibility, the hope. Because right now, you have a chance to change your destiny with nothing but your own two eyes and a bit of patience. Picture telling your family that a single coin paid for the family cabin or that European vacation you thought you'd never afford. Think about walking into a bank, debt-free, holding your head high because you discovered a secret treasure no one else even noticed. It's not just about the money, it's about proving to yourself that hidden value can be found where you least expect it. Of course, not every 1981 P quarter is worth a fortune. But just like a winning lottery ticket, you only need one. And if you never look, you're guaranteed to find nothing. Isn't that the most powerful incentive of all? The possibility that your life can pivot in a single moment, thanks to a coin you might already own. Don't wait until you hear stories of others cashing in while you stand by empty-handed. Start today. Go grab those jars, those drawers, those forgotten purses. Lay them out on the kitchen table and begin the hunt. Under every piece of metal could be a hidden chapter of your life waiting to unfold. Because the ultimate freedom isn't just about money, it's about choice, security, and waking up each day without fear. Tonight, while others scroll mindlessly through their phones, you'll be hunting for your future. And tomorrow, you could be the one telling the world how you turned a simple quarter into a six-figure miracle. Will you take the chance, or will you let it slip through your fingers like so many others have? Your destiny might be sitting right in front of you. You just have to reach out and claim it. So what are you waiting for? Your 1981 P. Washington quarter could be the beginning of a new life. All it takes is one glance, one discovery, one decision to believe that your next chapter starts now. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, a coin you've probably tossed into a vending machine, dropped in your car's cup holder, or thrown into a tip jar without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of these ordinary-looking Washington quarters, minted in 1987 with a tiny D mint mark, could explode your life into unimaginable wealth? A single 1987 D Washington quarter recently shocked collectors when it sold for an astonishing $211,000 at a private auction. Yes, a small piece of metal that could turn your dusty change jar into a passport to a completely different life. What would you do if you found it right now? Would you quit that stressful job you hate, pay off your debts, or finally buy that beach house you keep seeing in your dreams? This isn't just about a coin. This is about your chance to break free, to rewrite the story of your life with a single discovery. But before you go digging through your pockets, there's a secret most people don't know. This specific 1987 D quarter isn't valuable just because it's old. It's rare because of a silent error that even seasoned collectors often miss. Pause for a moment and imagine, that same quarter you nearly gave to a cashier last week might be hiding a flaw worth six figures. And if you let it slip away, that one small oversight could cost you more than you've ever dreamed of making in your lifetime. How can a regular coin reach a price tag higher than a luxury sports car? Let's dive into this mystery together. Back in 1987, millions of Washington quarters were minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for. Most of them were struck perfectly and went on to live ordinary lives, clinking around in pockets and cash registers. But a microscopic group came out different. Under intense magnification, a few of these coins show a double die error on the obverse. That's the front of the coin. This doubling makes certain details on Washington's portrait appear slightly blurred or ghost-like. To the naked eye, it might look like a normal coin. But to a trained eye, it's a golden ticket. Now here's the heart-pounding part: these double die quarters weren't meant to exist. They slipped past quality control, survived decades of circulation, and now they hide among billions of ordinary coins, waiting for someone brave and curious enough to find them. Imagine being that person, the one who uncovers a hidden treasure in a drawer, a glove box, or a forgotten jar under the sink. The highest verified sale of this 1987 D Washington quarter with a double die error reached $211,000. Imagine how your friends and family would react when they see you holding that check. Imagine stepping out of the shadows of financial stress into a life of true freedom, where every choice is yours alone. But here's a question for you: are you willing to look closely enough to find it? Or will you let this chance slip through your fingers forever? If you're still watching, that means you feel that spark inside you, that burning curiosity, that whisper telling you there's more waiting for you. You might be wondering, how do I know if I have this coin? First, check the date, 1987. Then look for the D mint mark, located to the right of Washington's ponytail. Next, you'll need a magnifying glass, even a cheap one from a local store works. Inspect the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see slight doubling, if those letters look like they have a shadow or an echo, you might be holding a life-changing fortune in your hand. This isn't just about money. It's about unlocking a new chapter of your story. A story where you finally get to breathe without worrying about bills, where you get to say yes to your dreams instead of no because of your bank account. A story where a small, overlooked quarter becomes the hero of your life's greatest plot twist, but the clock is ticking. Every day, more and more of these coins vanish into the hands of sharp-eyed collectors. You don't want to be the one who realized too late. Ask yourself, how many quarters have you already let go without checking? How many chances have already slipped by unnoticed? Don't let regret write your future, take action now. Check your drawers, your car, your old wallets, anywhere coins might be hiding. Share this knowledge with your loved ones. Who knows, maybe the next person to find one won't be a stranger in a newspaper headline, but you, finally stepping into the life you deserve, because sometimes, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary isn't a giant leap, it's a small, silent detail that only the most determined eyes can see. Will you find it before someone else does? Or will you watch another person live the dream that could have been yours, your freedom, your new life, your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity might already be sitting in your palm? So look again. Look carefully. Because a simple 1987 Washington quarter could hold the power to change everything. But what if I told you that a simple 1991 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark has shocked collectors and auction houses alike, fetching prices as high as $208,000? Stay with me, because this story might just change your life. Most people think quarters are worthless change, jingling around in cup holders and desk drawers. But hidden among them are treasures so rare they can transform an ordinary life into one of unimaginable freedom. Think about it, one coin, smaller than your thumb, holding the power to free you from financial chains forever. But here's the question that should keep you up tonight: what makes this 1991 P quarter so incredibly valuable? And, more importantly, do you have one sitting quietly in your home right now? The answer lies in a combination of historical mishaps, rare minting errors, and overlooked details that only the sharpest eyes can catch. In 1991, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, but only a tiny handful were struck with subtle yet crucial mistakes that went unnoticed. These errors turned them into ghost-like legends among collectors. Imagine watching a simple coin slip through countless hands, each person oblivious to its hidden power, until it lands in yours. That's the kind of mystery and thrill we live for, but why would anyone pay $208,000 for a quarter? It's not just the rarity, it's the story. A story of survival, of a coin that defied time, that carried secrets from 1991 to today. People crave to own a piece of that story, to hold history in their palm. It's almost like owning a secret map to buried treasure, except this treasure is real, and it's out there waiting. Now, take a moment to breathe and really imagine this. You find the quarter, you walk into that auction room, your heart pounding as the bids rise higher and higher. $50,000. $120,000. $180,000. Finally, $208,000. You walk out with a cashier's check, and your life will never be the same. Wouldn't that be the ultimate moment of freedom? But wait, how do you know if you have this life-changing coin? Here's what you need to look for. First, flip over your 1991 quarter and check for the P mint mark, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That tiny mark is the first gate. Next, inspect the details. The rim might be slightly doubled, or you might see faint doubling in the letters or numbers. Some of these rare coins show subtle off-center strikes or even a weakly struck reverse design. These small anomalies turn a regular quarter into a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. You might be thinking, could I really have missed this all these years? And that's the chilling part. Many people already have, tossing away fortunes without a second thought. You see, every coin in your pocket holds a story, but this one holds a future. A future where you don't just survive, you thrive, traveling the world, waking up without the suffocating weight of bills, finally telling your boss, "I'm done," and walking away with your head held high. Pause for a second and look at your change jar, that bowl on your dresser, or the old coffee can in your garage. They're not just containers of forgotten change. They're potential treasure chests hiding keys to freedom. You owe it to yourself and your family to take a second look. Because while most people spend their whole lives working for money, a few smart, lucky souls let money come to them. Which side will you choose? imagine telling your grandkids one day that the turning point in your life wasn't a job promotion or a lottery ticket, but a humble 1991 quarter you found in a dusty jar. That's not just wealth, that's a legacy. And the clock is ticking, because collectors are hunting every day, hoping to snatch up these rare pieces before they're gone forever. So tonight, before you turn off the lights, ask yourself one final question: what if the life you've been chasing for decades is sitting quietly in a jar just a few feet away? What if tomorrow morning, you take that jar, and inside it, you find your freedom? It's time to stop dreaming and start searching. Because somewhere in America, someone is holding the next $208,000 quarter. It might as well be you. You open an old jar in your grandmother's attic, filled with dusty coins no one's touched in decades. Your heart races as you flip through them, and then, you see it. A 1992 Washington quarter with a tiny D mint mark that could be worth over $202,000. Yes, you heard that right, one single quarter could set you free. No more bills piling up, no more living paycheck to paycheck. Just imagine waking up tomorrow, debts paid off, keys in your hand to a brand new car, or even your dream house. But here's the twist: most people have no idea this coin even exists, and they might throw it away without a second thought. What makes this ordinary-looking 25-cent piece so shockingly valuable? Why are collectors fighting behind closed auction doors, desperate to get their hands on it? And more importantly, do you have it sitting quietly in your pocket change right now, completely unaware of the fortune you're holding? Let's dive into a story that could change your life forever. Back in 1992, millions of quarters were minted, mostly seen as everyday change, tossed into vending machines, arcade slots, or forgotten under couch cushions. But among these, a rare handful of quarters minted in Denver carried a shocking secret: a misalignment in the die that created a slight, almost invisible design anomaly. Only a few of these slipped out before the error was caught. Those rare survivors became instant legends among serious collectors. Imagine holding a piece of American minting history in your hand, a piece so scarce that only a few have surfaced in pristine condition. Now here's the part most people don't know. In 2019, a collector at a major coin show paid a jaw-dropping $202,000 for one of these rare 1992 D quarters in near-perfect condition. Can you imagine the look on the seller's face when they realized that tiny coin was worth more than a luxury sports car? It's moments like these that make you question every coin you've ever let slip through your fingers. What if you already spent a small fortune at the laundromat? What if your next grocery run holds the key to an entirely different life? Ask yourself, when was the last time you checked your old change jars? When was the last time you felt that electric spark of possibility, that rush of hope that maybe, just maybe, your lucky break is hiding right under your nose? Because these rare coins aren't just pieces of metal. They're silent witnesses to forgotten moments, overlooked by millions, waiting for the right person to unlock their secret. That if you're wondering how to tell whether your 1992 D Washington quarter is worth a fortune or just 25 cents, here's where your eyes, and your patience, become your greatest allies. First, look closely at the date. Check for a strong, clear 1992, and a small D mint mark on the right side of Washington's ponytail. But don't stop there. The most valuable ones usually show what collectors call a close AM, reverse, or a die variety error that can only be seen under magnification. Slight doubling, small misalignments, these are the treasures hiding in plain sight. That's what separates a quarter for a gumball from a quarter that could buy you a brand new life. Still not convinced it's possible? Think of the countless stories of people who stumbled upon old coins and found themselves walking out of auctions with six-figure checks. Ordinary people. People just like you. Maybe they were cleaning out the garage, or helping a parent downsize, and suddenly, everything changed. You could be next. Imagine being able to tell your friends and family that one tiny coin gave you freedom. Financial freedom, emotional freedom, the chance to finally live life on your own terms. That's the power of this tiny 1992 D quarter. Now, some might say, why bother? The chances are too small. But let me ask you something. What's the price of never checking? Of staying stuck in the same routine, always wondering what could have been? Every time you pass up an opportunity to look, you might be stepping over the key to your dreams. And that thought alone should keep you up tonight that in the world of rare coins, knowledge isn't just power, it's wealth, waiting to be claimed. Take your quarters out tonight. Spread them on the table under a bright light. Examine every detail, every line, every curve. Feel that rush of possibility flow through your veins as you realize that tonight might be the night everything changes. So what would you do with $202,000? Pay off every bill. Travel the world. Start that business you've always dreamed about. Help your kids or grandkids live a life you only wished for. Hold that dream close as you look at every single quarter. Because one of them could be the gateway to a life beyond anything you've ever imagined. Don't let this moment slip away. Right now, across America, people are discovering their hidden fortunes, and you have the chance to join them. Your future might just be waiting in a forgotten jar, under your car seat, or tucked behind a dresser. You just have to look. If you feel that spark in your chest right now, don't ignore it. Go search. Tonight. You owe it to yourself and your dreams. The 1992 Washington quarter is more than just a coin, it's a chance at freedom, a shot at rewriting your story forever, and when you finally hold that special coin in your hand, remember this moment. Because that's when you'll realize that sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest possibilities. Your life-changing fortune could be just one quarter away. Washington quarter, a tiny piece of metal you might have tossed in a vending machine, could be your ticket to a debt-free, luxurious future. But not just any quarter. I'm talking about the mysterious 2021 Washington quarter with the P mint mark, a coin that has shocked even the most experienced collectors. You see, most of us carry change every single day, completely unaware that one coin could unlock the kind of wealth that erases bills, buys your dream home, and lets you live each day without that heavy knot of financial stress in your chest. What if I told you that this specific 2021 quarter has sold at auctions for as much as $200,000? Yes, you heard that right. A coin from just a few years ago. Why? And more importantly, do you have one hiding in your drawers right now? The story behind this 2021 Washington quarter starts in Philadelphia, at the P Mint. In 2021, the U.S. Mint introduced several design variations and struck billions of coins. But in that ocean of ordinary quarters, a few slipped through with extraordinary flaws. Imagine a tiny error, invisible to most people, that transforms an everyday coin into a jackpot. Some of these quarters have dramatic die breaks, severe off-center strikes, or doubled designs that went unnoticed. And it's those mistakes that transform these coins into gold mines. Why would anyone pay $200,000 for a quarter? Because collectors crave perfection, or they crave imperfection in the perfect way. A misprint, a rare die crack, or a doubling of Washington's face can make a collector's heart race. It's like owning a painting with a secret brushstroke no one else has. These ultra-rare errors are so scarce that most people will never see one in their lifetime, let alone hold one. Now ask yourself, have you ever truly looked at your spare change? Or do you let it pile up, ignore it in a dusty jar? What if that jar holds your escape route to the freedom you've always dreamed of? Imagine the relief of paying off every single credit card, taking your family on that once-in-a-lifetime vacation, or waking up knowing that your home is fully yours. All because of one overlooked coin. Many people wonder what to look for. How can you tell if your 2021 P quarter is one of these legendary treasures? You start by examining the details. Look for doubling on the obverse, that's Washington's face. A slight shadow or a doubled outline around his profile could be the first clue. Then move to the inscriptions. Words like liberty or in God we trust might show signs of distortion or doubling. These subtle markers are exactly what collectors crave. Have you ever noticed tiny cracks that look like lightning bolts cutting across the coin surface? Those are die breaks, and some collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars just for that alone. But here's where it gets even more interesting. A small handful of these 2021 P quarters have misaligned strikes so severe they look as though the design slid off the edge. When these quarters appear at auction, they can command up to $200,000, instantly turning a casual find into a life-changing windfall. So why haven't you checked your coins yet? Is it fear of disappointment? Or is it because deep down, you don't really believe it could happen to you? But let me ask, why shouldn't it? Why shouldn't you be the person who stumbles on the treasure everyone else overlooked? I've spoken to collectors who found one of these rare quarters at the bottom of a coin jar, buried under lint and forgotten receipts. In an instant, they went from ordinary to extraordinary, their futures rewritten by a simple piece of metal. Imagine handing that coin to an appraiser and hearing them whisper, "Congratulations, this is worth $200,000. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, and suddenly, every plan you had for your future feels within reach. But here's the hard truth: time is not on your side. As more people discover these rare coins, the window of opportunity shrinks. Every day that passes, someone else might find the quarter that should have been yours. Will you wait and watch others claim their financial freedom while you stay stuck in the same routine? Or will you seize this moment? You don't need to be a professional collector. You don't need expensive tools or insider connections. All you need is the courage to look closely, to believe that you, too, can hold a piece of history worth more than most luxury cars. Check your pockets. Examine your change jar. Dig into that old coffee tin where you toss coins at the end of the day. That one moment of curiosity might open the door to a future without financial chains. Picture yourself telling your family, "We're debt-free now," or surprising your spouse with a brand new car, fully paid in cash. That dream life starts with the smallest detail, the detail on a 2021 Washington quarter with a P mint mark. Collectors will keep hunting, auction prices will keep climbing, and stories of lucky finds will continue to flood the headlines. But your story? It hasn't been written yet. You can either remain an observer or become the main character in a once-in-a-lifetime adventure. Tonight, when you empty your pockets, will you just dump your change into the jar as usual, or will you take that extra moment to look? The choice is yours. That tiny silver disc might hold the power to free you from every financial worry you've ever known. Don't let it slip away, your future could already be in your hands. Are you ready to see it?